Good morning, everyone. What's going on? Welcome to Homebuilt Workshop. Welcome to Wednesday Live. I hope everyone is having an awesome day. Ooh, what's going on out there? All kinds of horns started honking. Someone probably forgot how to drive and almost crashed into somebody else. Seems to be what always happens. What's everybody up to this fine Wednesday morning? Man, what an amazing week we're having here weather-wise. It's incredible. We're like 60 degrees, middle 50s. It's insane. I like it. And then it's supposed to be like 13 at the beginning of next week. Again. Well, anyway, we're going to jump right in. We're not going to get distracted. I want to know, what's everybody working on? What's on your workbench? How's everything going? What's going on in everybody's world? Let's get caught up. Feels like it's been forever since we've hung out, even though it really hasn't. It's only just been since last week. But anyway, Dastardly Dave's here. Dave says, sup all. What's going on, Dave? Time Surfing says, howdy, yowdo. Yeah, we're going to get to that in a minute. Time Surfing, what's going on? Good morning. Francisco's here. Francisco says, hi, Jeff. Good morning, Francisco. How are you doing this morning? What an awesome day. It really is. Yeah, our weather has been insane these last 4 or 5 days. 60-something degrees. Like 65 for a brief moment a couple days ago. Wow, that was kind of crazy. I like it. So I got the beanie, though. It's not warm. It's not warm enough to get rid of the beanie. But it's mighty nice. Robert's here and says, not working on anything, watching you. Well, Robert, now it makes it sound like I'm the reason you're not getting anything done. I know that's not what you're saying, but that's how I feel at the moment. I don't want to be the reason to hold up progress. We got some coffee this morning. A big coffee cheers, everybody. I hope your days have been going great. That's some good stuff right there. Let's see. Time Surfing says, all back to normal, nice and warm. Right on. That's it. I'm glad to hear that. Did all your snow melted? Did you build a snowman? Please tell me you built a snowman before it melted. Corey's here. Corey says, today I have a doctor's appointment. Friday I have another doctor's appointment to the orthopedics. Sounds like I might have to have left shoulder surgery. Oh man, Corey, sorry to hear that. Hopefully everything goes well and you don't end up having to have surgery. That does not sound fun. So I hope it all goes well, Corey. I'm gonna wish you the best of luck here, because yeah, that doesn't sound fun at all. But anyway, I'm glad you're here. And Annie's here. Annie says, morning all. Good morning, Annie. How are you? What is going on? It's a nice morning out right now. Robert says, well, to tell you the truth, I wouldn't be working on anything even if I wasn't watching you. Okay. Well, that makes me feel, I guess, a little better, Robert. I don't feel like I'm holding up progress. Time Surfing says, no, snowman. I did make a snowball and put it in my freezer. Nice. You can pull it out in like July when you're roasting, right? And it's 100 degrees or whatever, and whatever the humidity gets, you can pull out the snowball and reminisce. And he says, good. Hope all is well with you. Yeah, it is. Yep. So anyway, while you guys are letting me know what you're working on this morning, I'm going to get you caught up before I jump into what I'm working on. Remember last week I said I'm tired of this mirrored picture thing? Well, I've been working on, I think I mentioned it last week, that my plan was this week to be streaming on a different camera. Well, I spent the last 2 evenings getting that set up, streaming through OBS on the laptop, and I've got it working. I've got, like, everything's working, but I was not getting audio. So apparently, I was going to try streaming using the GoPro. So you connect the GoPro to the computer with USB cable. But when you do that, you don't get audio. I don't know why, but you don't get audio. So in order to get audio, you have to use an external mic, which is no big deal. Easy. I plugged a lav mic into the laptop. No sound. Nothing. It just keeps wanting to use the laptop microphone. I don't know why. The little thing pops up and says, "You plugged in a device." But it wouldn't use the mic. I tried setting after setting after setting after troubleshooting after all kinds of stuff for the last 2 evenings trying to figure out why that lav mic won't work. I don't know. So this morning I was trying, I said, well, instead of using a direct wired lav mic, let me use my little wireless deal that I've been using for the videos. So it's the little transmitter and then a receiver that plugs in to the camera or whatever, using the same old 1/8" jack. Well, that seems like it works. And this was only about 15 minutes or so before I started, 10 minutes. So I didn't have a ton of time to fine tune and double check. But what I don't understand is why would a lav mic not work, but I can plug in another microphone that uses the same plug and it works. But yet, if I plug the lav mic into the little wireless transmitter, it works into the transmitter. So I know the mic works, but it won't work if I plug it directly in. I don't understand that. It doesn't make any sense to me. And that has been holding me up for 2 days. I've been trying to get this working because I wanted to stream on something other than the phone. I even had it hooked up last night doing a test stream. It was streaming in an unlisted thing to YouTube. Everything looked fine, but I wasn't getting the sound I wanted. Isn't that weird? I don't know. But I think I got it figured out. I just have to use a different thing. Here's a question for you, and then I'm going to catch back up to the comments. If you guys know, this laptop has like the combo jack, right? The headset, like headphone, microphone combo jack. Is that actually what is that? TRRS? Would that be what this is? And I'm trying to use a regular TRS? I don't know. I don't know how I can tell what kind of jack that is. Maybe I need an adapter to go from a TRS to TRRS, and maybe I'll try that. I don't know. It's just weird, and it was really driving me crazy because I was excited, and I set out 2 days ago to get this set up. I'm like, we're not going to have these backwards words, and we're going to do this right. Always something. All right, going back to comments here. Time Servant says 100 degrees and 100% humidity, perfect conditions. Yeah, pull that snowball out and you can, like, I don't know, put it in your drink. You can eat it. Yeah, it'll be great. Robert says, I'm a bit ticked off with the post office and AT&T. AT&T for the second month are claiming my bill is past due. Darn it. He says, did a stop payment last month and paid at the AT&T store online. They got the check, stop payment, tried to cash it, wound up costing me an extra $50. Dang it, Robert. I'm sorry that you're having those issues. That's no fun. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why. So if you paid it online, they would have that record, right? Doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make sense. I don't know. What a drag. Especially because it cost you $50. That's not like, I mean, that's not a small amount really. It's $50. That's like 4 things at the grocery store. But yeah, I hope you get that sorted out. Maybe, is there a way to set it up electronic so that it automatically happens? I mean, I don't know. Some people like that. That's the way I set everything up. And some people don't, and I get it. It is for me. I try to set up every single thing I can to be automatic. I don't want to write a check. I don't want to have to call somebody. I don't want to have to do anything if I don't have to. I mean, there's certain things that I have to, but the more that I can automate, it just takes that weight off of my brain. I don't have that much extra brain capacity anyway. So the more I can automate, and again, this is just me. I understand that not everybody likes that, and that's totally fine. But man, it's so much easier when I just know that whatever the payment is, it just goes through, and I don't have to mess with it. Corey says GoPros are set up for a wireless mic in the first place. Well, Corey, the thing that's weird, right, is so the GoPro, I have the media mod, which has the microphone on it. And then also the media mod allows you to plug in an external. It gives you that 1/8" jack. But when you plug it into USB and go into the computer, you don't get the audio. Like, it's basically just connecting the camera, the camera itself to the computer. So you got to use something not connected to the GoPro to get your audio. Like, for what I've been fighting is I can get the video and it transfers the video just fine, but it keeps wanting to use the microphone on the laptop. Now I've got a bunch of microphones, different things I can use. And really I thought that I'd be able to just plug in a lav mic with an 1/8" TRS plug, but it doesn't work. That's what I don't understand. But yet when I plug in the wireless receiver with seemingly the exact same 1/8" jack, stereo TRS jack, it works. I don't understand. Doesn't make any sense. Mike Johnson's here. Mike says, morning. Good morning, Mike. How are you this fine Wednesday morning? How's your day going so far? Hope you're staying dry. I don't know if it's raining up that way. Robert says, doing the same thing this month to me, may be forced to just go with a different carrier. Well, that's a good option as well. That is a good option. Time Surfing says, I made an adjustable wall-mounted guitar rack for multiple guitars. Use $2 utility hooks from Harbor Freight and scrap wood. Well, that sounds super cool. I have seen a lot of wall-mounted guitar things made from, like those storage hooks. And I really ought to build something like that, just so I can get some more hung up. And there's a couple things I got to grab at Harbor Freight one of these days, just some little hardware things and stuff like that. So I might have to run down there one of these days. Robert says, don't like electronic payments. Fair enough, Robert. I totally get it. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. Let's see. Time Surfing says, less than $10 into a 3-guitar mount. Nice. That is awesome. Yeah, you can't beat it. I mean, I use a lot of those string swing mounts, right? They're the little chunk of wood of some sort with the hook. And those things were great, but what are they? $12, $14 or something like that for one? So it's not your project there cost way less than 3 of those string swing mounts. And I do like the string swings, not sponsored, but yeah, that'd be, for 3 of them, you'd be looking at like $40 or something like that, 45. Oh, Dave from Crystalac is here. What's going on? David, good morning. Dave says, first time in a while. I've got to catch you live. Great info, brother. Right on. Dave, how's everything going? Hopefully everything is going well. How you guys doing down in that area of the country? Right on. And for those of you that aren't familiar, you guys may recognize that name. I point at it like you can see what I'm pointing at. It's the comment. Crystalac, the bright tone guitar finishes that I use on a lot of my instruments. Go check it out. Right on. Also not sponsored, but products that I use. And Dave, glad to see you here. Corey says, do you have a web camera? Some of them are already made with a mic built into them. That is something that I've been thinking about. Ultimately, what I really want to do, I'm gonna stray off topic for a little bit here. Not really off topic, but off course. And then I'm gonna get back and show you what I'm working on. Sneak peek, sneak peek. Ultimately, I want to build out a live stream rig, something that is very versatile, that gives me great options as far as doing these live streams. You know, a webcam would work perfectly fine. There's even 4K webcams out there that would work for this right here. But I want to have a little bit more versatility. I want to be able to connect things like my Canon camera mirrorless that I film the videos with. I want to be able to stream with that. I want to have some different options and different capabilities for connecting different audio sources and getting high quality audio using XLR mics, all that kind of stuff. I want to have a very versatile rig, but not something that's super huge. So I've been spending a ton of time lately researching items, different pieces of hardware and stuff like that for getting a cool rig set up. Because I think there's a lot more options out there, things that I could use it for other than just doing these live streams here in the shop. But when we talk about my live streams here in the shop, by having a system with a couple different cameras and a way I can switch back and forth, I can have, let's say, this shot here. But if I wanted to, do demonstrations or, show you something on the bench, instead of having to, move this thing around, I could just click a button and it switches cameras. And now we're looking at the workbench, or now we're looking at, I don't know, the CNC machine, something like that. And ultimately, that is what I would like to do, to be able to have several different cameras. And, if some of them could do tracking, that would be pretty sweet too. But that is my ultimate end goal. So, but a webcam 100% would work. It would solve this problem that I'm having right at this moment, because, as you mentioned, they have mics built in and they're halfway decent. I've done live streams. I got a webcam connected to my camera in the house, and we've done different web, Zoom meetings and stuff like that, and they work just fine for what they're for. But my ultimate goal is to have a little bit more of a capable rig. Something I'd like to build into a road case. That'd be a project for it. And probably, if I end up going this route, that would probably be something I would do. Build everything into a road case. It would hold, let's say, a hardware switcher and maybe a small mixing board of some sort. Maybe, some preview monitors, something like that. And that's something that it's kind of something I want to do. But right now, I'm trying to get this live stream, that whole goal of building that rig is a little ways out there. That's not something I'm trying to do today. Today, I'm just trying to get this stream a little bit better for all of you that are watching, and so that you don't have to deal with this reversed image, because it's annoying to me. It's annoying to me, and I don't understand it. And I can't fix it. At least I can't figure out how to fix it. So by streaming with something different that I have more control, if it's reversed, I can flip the video. I can flip the image and correct that. I can't figure out how to do it on anything else. So my goal right now is to make this live stream better for all of you, with a little bit further out goal of creating a pretty cool live stream rig that I can do a lot of different things with here in the shop and for the weekly lives. That's a long-winded explanation. Okay, I'm going back. I need to catch up I'm catching back up with comments, and then I'm going to show you what I'm working on, because I think you'll like it. At least I like it. Time Surfing says, used a method, we used it to hang fireplace mantles. Oh, to hang the mounts? Nice. Robert says, just an old fogey that's set in my waist. Robert, no worries. I like I said, I totally understand. Totally understand. Mike Johnson says, we have 1.5 inches of snow. Can't work out of the garage, so I'm madly 3D printing, doing an 80 centimeter Stargate with LEDs and an Arduino. Nice. Right on. Yeah, 3D printing stuff is perfect for when your snow. You've got a bunch of snow. You've got well below zero temperatures like we had a couple weeks ago, and I was working on those knives, which I still have one I'm carrying in my pocket. And nothing's coming off. I can't, they're still pretty securely on there. So I keep trying to carry it every single day so that I can, just bump around in my pocket. It's been holding up really well. 3D printing makes it a great project for those snowy days when you just can't quite get outside or, get out into your shop. So right on. And if you guys haven't seen that little 3D printing video, I think there's some cool tips in there as far as taking an item using your scanner, your home computer scanner, to recreate it in your CAD software. So if you haven't watched that video, head over to the channel page and check it out. The 3D printed knife scales. Francisco says, I've built 2 guitars which did not turn out the way I wanted, which brings me to my question. How many guitars did you have to build before you were satisfied with the result? Francisco, that is a great question. So the first, I've mentioned this before, but let me just give you a kind of a brief recap of kind of how I got to building the entire guitar. I worked my way into steps. This wasn't exactly your question, but I'm hoping that maybe it'll help answer your question. And then, so just bear with me for just a moment. Right at first, I did not jump into building the entire guitar. I built 3 guitars where I only built the body. I built 3 different bodies. Those all got pre-made necks. So that gave me some experience just building the body and understanding the construction and everything that goes into it. After that, I still wasn't feeling ready to build a neck. So instead of doing a full neck with a truss rod, I built a few cigar box guitars. That let me practice the fretwork and actually installing frets and all of that. After doing a few of those, all that was left to do was an actual neck with a truss rod. And then I built a few of those with a couple of bodies so that I then had several complete guitars. So this was, by the time I built my own neck, I'd probably built 7, 8 stringed instruments, including the first few bodies and 3 or 4 cigar box guitars before I built my own neck. Now those first necks, were they 100% perfect? No, they weren't, but there was nothing wrong with them whatsoever. There was no real flaws. I probably struggled with a few of the steps a lot more than I do now because I didn't have, certain tools or certain systems and techniques figured out. But I guess what I'm trying to say is don't pick them apart. We all learn at different steps. We all learn different, I don't know how I'm trying to say this. We are our own worst critic. There you go. So while there may be flaws in different things that we don't like, I don't know the best way to say that. Yes, there are things about some of my first instruments, and I always keep the first one. The first one of everything I keep. When I look at the first electric guitar that I made from scratch, neck, everything, yeah, I see some things now that at the time I didn't see, right? Because as we grow our skills, we start to develop that eye. It's the same with if you're building an acoustic and you're tap tuning, your first couple, you don't have that ear built. So you're not 100% sure really what you're listening for when you're doing the tap tuning. So it takes time. So I would just say if they play fine but you said you're not completely happy with them, just take that as little pieces of knowledge for next time around. Tuck that stuff away and say, okay, next time, I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna leave. I don't know. Maybe it left a sanding scratch in there. Some of that stuff you could go back and fix, or you just say, hey, you know what? Next time I got to sand better, or I've got to whatever. Just learn from that, and that's part of the learning process. So I don't know if that helped with your question. How many guitars did you have to build before you were satisfied with the result? Honestly, Francisco, even now, many guitars after those first few, there's still always things that you're going to find. But my goal is each time, I hope the thing is smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller that I'm going to see. A lot of people aren't going to see it. But as we develop that eye and we know more what we're looking for, I just strive to make the next one a little bit better than the previous one. And eventually you're going to be happy. Like I said, we are our own worst critic. So, I could look at the last guitar I finished probably and find a thing or two that I personally am not too crazy about. But is anybody else going to see it? Is it going to affect the instrument in any way? No. So just learn from that stuff and strive to do a little bit better on the next one in whatever way you can. Hope that helps you at least a little bit. I want to hear from everybody else too. What kind of tips and suggestions would you have for Francisco? Corey says you might have to get a gaming laptop for that. You can plug in multiple cameras into them. This is an older gaming laptop. We've got, what do we have? A bunch of USBs. We've got an HDMI. We've got the headset and some other plug, but I don't understand. Patty's here. Patty says, only on a drive by Jeff. How's it going? Just about to get the train at Le Shuttle to go under the channel. Oh, back to the UK. Just had a great trip to Belgium and Germany. Right on, Patty. That's awesome. How is that when you ride under the channel? Is that strange at all, or just like a normal train ride? That's pretty incredible that you just whoosh right underneath over there to the UK. That's so cool. Right on. Robert says, Patty, safe trip. Patty says, cheers. Terry's here. Terry says, hello, Jeff. Hello, all. Terry, good morning to you. How are you doing this morning? Time Surfing says, learning curve gives you something to go back and improve on. Yeah, well said, Time Surfing. That's really all it is. It's just each one, you just strive to do a little better. And that's the same with everything, right? It's not just guitar building, but whatever your chosen craft is. If you're I don't know, if you're a leather worker, right? Every belt you make, you try to, each one you strive to make a little bit better. Or, like I said, whatever. If you're a painter, anything. Even if you're a baker, every batch of cookies you bake, I want the next batch to be a little better than the last. Cookies, that sounds good. Robert says, I was having difficulty with my wireless internet early this morning. Finally gave up, deactivated the wireless, hooked it up to a cable to my router to have internet today. That's interesting. Yeah, see, I've even been getting all that stuff situated. I got my router right here mounted on the wall, which it hasn't been. It's kind of just been laying up here on top of the toolbox. I even have a cable. Yes, this is a wireless. It's going wireless to the router inside the house. But then I even dug out a cable so that I can go wired from the PC or from the laptop to the router, trying to eliminate as many wireless connections. I'm preparing for this improved live stream. I just got to work through the rest of these darn issues. And Jimmy's here. Jimmy Joseph says, hi, Jeff. I want to say thank you for your video on achieving a high gloss, smooth polyurethane finish. Using your technique to finish a piece now. Right on, Jimmy. That is awesome. Thank you for that comment. I appreciate that, and I'm glad that that video is helping you out. So you can do it. You've got this. You're gonna have that sucker shining in no time. Wet sand that thing as smooth as you can get it, and give it a good polishing, it's going to turn out good. Don't sand through. No pressure. Robert says, may want to get a new router or wireless card for my computer. Yeah, if you're having trouble with that, you might want to. Robert says, hello, Terry. Time Surfing says, does that John Deere plow in reverse? Oh, you mean this one? This one? It's kind of hard to plow in reverse. I can tell you that for a fact. You know, you mentioned that. You say that, and you got me reminiscing now. just that one little comment. It's got me thinking back. You know how many acres I've plowed in the years that I worked at the farm? I honestly don't know. But it's that literally thousands and thousands. I used to love plowing. Totally unrelated. I guess I'm going to show you what I'm working on, but you got me. You see what you did? Yeah. Plowing is so fun. You're getting out there when the weather's just starting to get nice. Turning over that dirt, smelling dirt. Oh, it's incredible. All right. Tanmay. Tanmay's here. Tanmay says hello. Hope you had a great weekend. Amazing to see you. What's one new thing that you learned or did this week? It's all right, even if it's a small thing. Ooh. Tanmay, I love it. That's a great question. Well, first off, hello to you as well, and I'm glad you're here. What's one new thing that you learned or did this week? One new thing. One new thing. I've been working. I don't know if you caught some of my talking about. I've been working to improve this live stream and trying to get some of the streaming set up from different cameras using OBS software. The last couple of evenings, I've spent probably an hour or a couple hours, both evenings, getting this set up. And I have learned so many new settings in the OBS software that I had never used before while I was trying to troubleshoot a few issues. So I feel like while I'm no expert in this OBS streaming software, I feel that the last two evenings really gave me a lot better knowledge of that software. So I think that's what I'm going to say. I learned some interesting settings in OBS software. Hope that qualifies. And I also learned that the plugs on my laptop here don't work apparently the way I expected them to work through trial and error. And I also learned through trial and error that I like the look of my branding iron brand on a guitar neck compared to laser engraved. While the laser engraved is crisper, the branding iron is darker and blacker, and overall it just looks better. And the reason I mention that is because I'm using that as a segue to get into showing you what I've been working on. Somehow we got busy talking last week about other things. I wanted to show you where I was at on this bass. And by the time I got to it, it was time to end the stream. So I'm just going to show you right now. Here's where we are. This is the replacement neck for that Epiphone bass. Let's see, we got a fretboard overhang. I was going to say hangover. Fretboard hangover. But yeah, this is the replacement neck for that bass. And yeah, that's where we're at. This is basically right off the machine. Pulled it off the CNC machine. It's still oversized. I gotta fine tune all of this, but it is rough shaped. And I got this on there yesterday. I spent about an hour and a half testing this and the laser engraver. But for some reason on maple, I just like the look of the branding iron better. It's just darker. This still needs to be sanded just a little bit, but yeah. Yeah, so this is coming along good. I'm going to start doing the shaping, final shaping, getting it all worked out, and then I'm going to run this basically these same programs on, I can't really get it, on another neck. I got another neck I got to build, basically the same neck as this. This one is sort of a practice, not really practice, but just as as I work out a couple of kinks, we'll have this whole Epiphone Accubase back up and running in no time. And yeah, but so far it's going really well. All of this transitions, the heel transitions, headstock transition, all done on the CNC machine. Oversized, so it's not complete yet. I still got to finish shaping and do a little final contouring, but the bulk of the material, right in here especially, bulk of the material is removed, and we're ready to start doing all the handwork on this, and then getting some frets in there. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna glue these frets in with this time. I might try some of that fish glue. You guys ever use the fish glue? Time Surfing says, still love plowing, just not outside. Well, yeah, you use a cab. You sit in the cab of the tractor. Tanmay says, that's awesome. Always keep learning. That's the best gift we have. Yes, I love learning new things. I really do. And I've said it before, really, but that's part of the reason that I just do such a wide variety of projects. Like why I don't just build guitars. I love building guitars. I love the whole process. I love playing the guitars, everything about it. But I also love learning so many other tasks or other not tasks. What's the word? Crafts, right? Like I love learning things about leatherwork. I love learning things about like fabrication and stuff like building the giant edge sander. So many different things. Like at some point, like as much as I enjoy this, I just have to, that's why I got to do other things. Like I also don't feel that I could do leather work 100% full time. There's just so many other things that I enjoy doing. I got to have a variety of some sort because I want to learn everything. So therefore I want to try everything at least once. It's just, I really enjoy that learning process. Time Surfing says, nice neck. Oh, thank you. Thanks. Appreciate it. Tanmay, do you not prefer decals for necks? Engraving also looks fantastic as well. I've done decals. So that's something that I did early on with the decals. This sort of goes along with, I believe, Francisco's question earlier. So early on, I did water slide decals, right? Like the Fender or a lot of the big name companies will use these. It's a clear paper, kind of like you would use on the models. If you ever built models as a kid, or maybe even now, all the decals for a model is water slide. You soak it in water, it slides off the paper, and you stick it on your piece. I did that first off. The thing that I didn't like about that is now you've got a sticker on top of the wood, and in order for that to disappear, you've got to cover that in a lot of coats of clear, of lacquer or poly or whatever you're using for clearing your neck. If you don't bury that in the finish, you're going to see the outline of that sticker. And that's something that I decided that I didn't really like. Plus, I also found out that I like an oil finish neck. I do not like to have a big sticky poly lacquer, some sort of finish on a neck. Just about every single neck that I build is an oil finish neck. This one is going to be an exception because I am going to try to replicate this original finish. I've got some amber tinted finish that I'm going to use specifically. I'm going to see, I don't know if the colors, I don't think it's going to be exact, but I am going to do this one in the clear. Clear, I'm using nitrocellulose lacquer. But generally, I would not do that. The only reason I'm doing it this time is because I'm sort of making this as a replacement neck for this base. So I will. But I don't like to have to bury a decal under a bunch of finish, because to me, I've seen people do basically the headstock in the clear, like the lacquer, and then you leave the neck in an oil finish. I don't like to have that mix of finishes. Well, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just the way I am. So I like to have it burned into the wood, whether it's through the branding iron or laser engraver. Then I can just oil finish over top of it, and basically, bam, you're done. It's just a personal preference. I did a whole bunch of testing. The laser engraver is so much crisper and cleaner, but I also don't like it quite so deep. So this is probably the best one that I got right here. One of the darkest ones. These are definitely darker. That's also laser engraver, but it's deep. Like I had to set it pretty aggressive, and the engraving is really deep, which I didn't want it super deep. That's what I like about the branding iron, is you get that nice burn, but it doesn't go super deep. So I can get it nice and hot to where it just touches it on there, and it turns it nice and dark without that super deep cut. Just weird preferences that I have. Robert says, neck looks very nice. Right on. Corey says, then you can make a Discord. That way people can hop into the Discord, share their projects, what they've been doing. You can also have video chat on Discord. Really? You can? See, my buddy Chaos, who comes on here once in a while, he told me about it 8,000 times that I need to do a Discord. But I haven't yet. And part of that is because I feel like I got enough pages and channels and things to try to keep track of right now, and I just didn't want to add another one. But maybe I need to. I don't know. Time Surfing says, active mind, sign of true intelligence. I'll just say thank you. Thank you for that vote of confidence. I don't know if it's I don't know, but yeah, I definitely like to be able to do a bunch of different things. Let's see. Tan Mays, ever worked with or built an active pickup guitar? I have not built one from scratch. Most of the time, well, so far, 100% of the guitars that I have built have been passive. There's nothing wrong with active. I just personally don't like the added, the addition of having to have the battery and all that stuff. But I have done, a long time ago, I did a bunch of modifications for a friend of mine on one of his guitars. And we put in active pickups, routed in a battery box, all that kind of stuff. I just saw, oh, never mind. Sorry, got distracted. Routed in the battery box, all that sort of thing. Put these active pickups in there with all the electronics, EQs, preamps, all that stuff. And it sounded incredible. It was awesome. But I don't, it's just not something, it's not my favorite. Like if I was going to put EMGs, I'm just picking that for an example. If I was going to put EMGs in guitar, I would put in the passive EMGs. I really think I would. Or I would run it. Some of them I believe you can run passive and they work fine. Don't quote me on that, but it seems as though I've heard that. So yeah, I've worked on bass guitars that are active. I have installed pickups in a guitar that are active, but I don't put active pickups in my guitars. Again, it goes back to personal preference, I guess. There's nothing wrong with them whatsoever. Like I said, the one I helped my buddy with, it sounded awesome. sounded great. The sustain was incredible. But I've also found that if you get, you can get certain pickups, and I'm not saying one brand or another, but there are certain pickups that that'll sustain pretty good too. You just gotta, you find the right ones. So it's not a right or wrong sort of thing. It's just not something I work with a whole lot. I just don't like, I am not a fan of a battery, right? So if you're playing live, right, and your battery goes out on an active system, you're done. You got to change the battery. And I just don't like the entire, I don't like the entire gig to have to rely on one 9-volt battery. Yes, I know you change it ahead of time, but what if you forget? That's just the way my mind thinks about it. Again, I'm not knocking it whatsoever. It's just the way my goofy brain works. Mike says, "Hey, I'm not on Discord and not going to anytime in the future." Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you, Mike. Sam Packin's here. Sam Packin says, "Good morning, Jeff and fellow Home Built Workshop followers." Rick, what's going on? Good morning. Workshop's looking good, Rick, in the new place. Right on. And Paul's here. Paul says, "Sorry I'm late. Hello." Good morning, Paul. How are you doing? Welcome. Well, you guys missed it. Here's the bass neck for the Epiphone fretboard overhang. I'm adding a fret to this guitar. As hopefully you can see that. So yeah, dot markers. Ready for final shaping. Everybody else heard me say this already, but because you guys were late to class. Everything's a little bit oversized. I got to finish fine-tuning everything, sanding, finishing, fretting, all of that stuff. But this is where we're at right now. So basically a J-bass style replacement neck. It fits the neck pocket. Well, it doesn't yet. It's a little fat right here. But yeah, for this Epiphone bass, it's coming along pretty good. Tanmay, a little random question again, but how do you go about cleaning your workspace desk? Do you find it easy to do? Tanmay, you have amazing questions, and thank you for that. I'm looking back here right now as you're asking about cleaning. This area, we're not going to talk about this area. Because when I'm working on stuff, this becomes a catch-all while I'm in the middle of a project. I have this other table here that you see me working at in pretty much all of the videos. That's kind of my workbench. When I am done with a project, though, we'll jump back to this, and then I'll talk about the desk. When I'm done with a project, that is when I will take the time, and I will go, okay, I've got to put everything away. And it literally comes down to one-by-one things. A lot of this stuff will be gone, or some of this stuff anyway, will go to this build when it's done, like the screws and neck hardware. But it'll come down to, okay, fret wire. I'm done with that now. Okay, I'll go put it away. Test neck. Well, I don't need that anymore. That goes in the dumpster. Extra truss rods, carbon fiber rods. Okay, those got to go where those need to go, which is going to be a project coming up because I need different storage for these. But anyway, it literally comes down to one thing at a time until the table is clean. And when I do that, I got to take a super hard look at why is there a little scrap? Do I need this little scrap? There's about a 99.99999, okay, 100% chance that no, I don't need this. throw it away. You know, and I just have to really be intentional. I think that is the word probably in all of this, what it's all going to come down to. You just got to be intentional. You just got to do it. Sanding blocks, don't just shove it aside. Put it somewhere. Put it in the, I got a drawer for sanding blocks. You just have to do it. And when it comes to my desk inside the house, a lot of times what happens in there is it's not getting scattered really with projects, but I do have, you know, cameras, microphones. When I go to the store and I buy something, I get a receipt, you know, because you got to keep track of all that stuff. I get receipts piled on there and the laptop on there and cables and all kinds of stuff. I just have to, again, just be diligent and intentional and put stuff away. So every Monday morning, I usually take whatever, half hour, an hour, and I try to catalog all of my receipts, right? So throughout the week, if I go to the store, if I order something, you know, I print out like my, you know, order confirmations, all that stuff. I got to keep track of everything. But Monday mornings is my time to get all of those filed, to get everything put away. And that, just that right there makes a huge difference in keeping the desk clean because, you know, I just have that time and I can get things put away. And while I'm doing that, inevitably, there's going to be a camera in the way and it's sitting on a couple of receipts or something like that. Now I have to pick up the camera and I can put that where it goes. And really kind of just that Monday morning, for that first hour or so of the day, that is my time where I'm just doing paperwork and keeping things in order. So I don't know if that helps answer your question. Really, another thing is I don't have a lot of space, either inside the shop here or in the house. So I have to be intentional because, well, I just run out of space too fast. I hope that helps. Sam Packin says, better late than never. Well, yeah, Rick. Rick got here just before Paul. Paul says, I hate active pickups. I've done them, but the extra wiring, etc., don't like them. I wouldn't say, I don't feel that strongly about them. I like them. I just don't like the extra, I don't like the battery. I don't like that the whole entire system relies on that darn battery. That's why on my pedal boards, I don't run anything off a battery. Like almost all the effects pedals, you can put a 9-volt battery in there, but it's going to die at the worst possible time. And that's the way I view active pickups. I know lots of people use them and they don't have issues, you know, and they swear by them, whatever. I get it. Like I say, I'm not knocking them. I just say for me, I have quite a fairly extensive, I don't know if that's the right word, but I've played lots and lots of shows. I have a lot of experience doing gigs, gigging background. And I always look at what's going to shut the show down, right? If this one thing dies, how, you know, what's going to happen, right? I always want to have like a plan B. And if my guitar battery dies in the middle of a song or in the middle of a set, is it that hard to change? Not really, but it sure is awkward. And I'd just rather not deal with it. So that's my thought on it. I'm not knocking them at all. It's just not the you know, the way I want to go. Mike Podvin's here. Mike says, "Hey Jeff, Mike, what's going on? Good morning. How's everything going up in your neck of the woods?" Paul says, "Pretty neck. Logo's backwards though." Well, I got a logo on my neck. You like that? No. Dang logo. Yes. My whole plan, I've already gone over all this. My whole plan was to be streaming on OBS with a different camera so I can fix the backward nonsense. But I had audio troubles for the last 2 nights trying to figure that out. I think I figured it out just before the live today, but didn't have time to get everything set up. So that's it. Rick says, "Looks great. I'd expect nothing less." Well, thanks, Rick. Fretboard is rosewood fretboard. Spalted maple fret markers. Mike says cleaning. What is this cleaning you speak of? Mike, I know. I don't do it enough, I'm sure. But you got to do it at some point, as much as it stinks. I'm going to run out of space real fast. I don't have a whole lot of room here. I think you guys all know that. So if I don't clean up, it's rough. What are you up to this morning? Any projects in the works? Sam Packin says, Tan Man, you should see my desk space and bench top right now. Tan Man says, that'd be both of us. Robert says, you are in work in process, so it doesn't need to be clean. Once done, then clean and organize. Yes, Robert, that's a good point. You bring up a good point. When, like this here, I'm not too worried about this. I'm working off of this table in front of me. That's where the camera is facing most of the time. Again, this is sort of a staging sort of space. I'm not really working off of that. And it is a work in process. Once this neck is done, yeah, the base is going to get put back together. Everything's going to get cleaned up, and we're going to be back on on whatever the next project is. My desk inside the house is not quite the same. Oh, my guitar setup bench is also another one that needs a little work. That ends up being more of a workbench for other things too, when there's not an instrument on there. Let's see. Time Surfing says, organize. You mean put stuff where I'll never find it again? Well, yes. Time Surfing. And, I just went through that not long ago. I put some things away in a different spot from where it was. And I needed it a couple days later. I could not find it. I don't remember what it was now offhand, but it was something that I felt fairly confident. Like, I just moved that and put it. I got to remember where that is. Well, then I came back out a few days to find the thing, whatever that was. I don't remember. I'm looking around trying to see if I can remember. I don't remember what it was, but I couldn't find it forever. I probably spent a day on and off, not a day straight, but trying to find this thing. And eventually I found it, but I can't remember what it was. But yeah, it was the same thing. I'm going to put this away. I'm tired of it sitting right here, even though that's where it's been for quite a long time. And then I clean up, and it's gone. Harry Dude's here. Harry Dude says, what's up? Looks like I just made it. How are we all? Harry Dude, we are all great. How are you? And welcome. Welcome. How's everything in Australia? Is it hot down there? Are you roasting yet? Are you yeah, you must be in the height of summer, right? Like the hottest days ever? Time Surfing says, hey, Harry Dude. Time Surfing also says, not a fan of active pickups. Yeah, I don't know. Paul says, so Jeff is actually Quagmire from Family Guy. Tanmay, I have a free soldering workshop at my college next week. I don't see myself using that skill in the future, but seems interesting. Do you think it's a good general skill? Yes. And if it's free, I would 100% go take it. Because you never know. You never know what you're going to do. If you're going to build electric guitars, you need to know how to solder. I don't know if you're going to build electric or just acoustic. I think, yes. If it's free, I 100% would go take it. You never know. You just never know. I use it in every single electric guitar. I've used it in a lot of other things too. So yeah, I would recommend taking it. If it fits into your schedule, I would go take that soldering class, workshop, whatever it is, workshop. I would take it. It's valuable. It's a new skill, right? Don't think you might never use it. Once you understand a little bit of what you can do with some of these other skills, you might be able to pull that in, later on down the road in life. Something may happen and you go, oh, hey, I soldered that thing at one time. Yeah, so I can solder this thing, and boom, you've just fixed whatever the thing is. You never know. I would take it. Robert says, first set of pickups I bought, not knowing anything about pickups, was a set of actives. Once I looked them over, put them back in the packaging and in a box, bought a new set that were regular. Yeah, yeah. And Mike Potvin says, when the projects never end, there's no in-between time to clean. Well, Mike, you know what? That's true. That's true. I think I end up with a little bit of in-between time because when a project is done, then I gotta finish almost every time. Almost every time I'm doing a project, it's because I'm making a video. So I've got that little bit of time at the end of a project, usually where I'm editing. So I will be spending more time maybe in front of the computer. That's when I try to clean. But yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Exactly what you mean. So anyway, yeah. So Mike, I just got to throw this out there, if you don't mind. If you guys don't know Mike Potvin Guitars, you got to go check it out. This is a shameless plug, and Mike's not paying me for anything. I just got to give Mike a shout out, not only for tuning into the live, but also for making awesome templates and all that kind of stuff. You guys need templates or any of that sort of thing? Go check it out. Potvin Guitars. Rick is in not necessarily your neck of the woods, but your part of the country or your area. So yeah, if you guys need stuff, check it out. Mike makes awesome stuff, great templates and all of that. So sorry, Mike. Not sponsored. Time Surfing says, yes, Tanmay, it's a useful skill. There you go. Sam Packin says, as you know, Jeff, I'm doing a new shop and have to unpack and put things away, but I don't always remember where I had it in the old shop. Well, that's true. And that's the beauty of a new shop. You get to do things your own way and put it where you want it now. Rick says, not easy for an old guy. It's going to be fine, Rick. Harry Dude says, I'm going to go through the pain of moving house and workshop soon. Oh, no. It says, good opportunity to sort and set things up better. You know what? That's true. That is true, Harry Dude. And that is a great way to look at it. When you have to pack everything up, it's a good opportunity to go through and really go, I've had this thing for, 15 years. Maybe I don't need it anymore. To kind of sort things out. And you'll probably find stuff that maybe you forgot you had. I don't know. Yeah, it's just a great opportunity. And then, like you said, Harry Dude, when you're setting it back up, you've got that in your mind, right? Okay, I had it set up like this before, but I never really liked because of whatever reason. Well, yeah, it's a great time to do things a little bit different. Hopefully, we get to do that around here at some point in the nearer future. Reconfigure, kind of just redo stuff. I don't know. We'll see. Paul says, I2 QA soldering in the Navy, micro miniature repair. I don't know what QA soldering is. I'm sorry, Paul, but I'm going to keep going. Thought that when I got out, would never use that skill again. Boy, was I wrong. Seems everyone brings me soldering for guitars and such. Yeah, see? For guitars. There's all kinds of stuff. Definitely is a great, it's a great little skill to have. I took a soldering electronics class, and I believe it was in middle school. In fact, I'm quite positive it was in middle school. And it's just cool. It's a skill that you don't need all the time, depending on your line of work, but it's a good skill to know. Paul says, Mike Potvin's awesome. I have some of his templates. I do too, Paul. Tanmay says, Mike, can you send a link? Tanmay, you can't post links in the comments, but if you go to potvinguitars.com, right, Mike? potvinguitars.com. Mike sells templates, all kinds of guitar templates, fret slotting templates, all kinds of templates and stuff like that. He also builds guitars, and he's got some cool other stuff that he's working on too. And Mike says, "You're too kind, sir." Mike, I had to say it. Had to say it because I have several of your templates. You've done some custom stuff for me, and everything's turned out awesome. It's turned out great. I also like the fact that yours are the 1/2 inch MDF, not that 1/4 inch stuff. In fact, I think I've even got something that's maybe some pickup templates that are 3/4 inch. I could be wrong on that. I don't know. But yeah, they're way better than those thin, flimsy templates. And I shouldn't even say flimsy. 1/4 inch templates aren't necessarily flimsy. I just don't like them. I don't like the thin stuff. And I've got some thinner things around here, but that's how I know that it's not my preference. Mics are the real deal. Tanmay says, I'll definitely check them out if I need it in the future. Yeah, do it. Mike, you don't do anything for acoustic though, do you? Yours are just electric. Is that right? Am I right or wrong on that one? I don't remember. I don't think I remember seeing anything for acoustic, but let me know. I've got a great suggestion for acoustic templates too, but I don't want to like muddy the waters. Paul says, Mike's guitars are pretty too. Yes, they are. Rick says, love the pod vent. Yeah, see? Yeah. Sam Packin says, Harry dude, that's what I'm doing. And tossing things away and wondering why I moved it. Yeah, that's a good one. Rick, yeah. Dastardly Dave says, once you learn it, you can say solder. Oh, yeah, solder and solder, depending on where you are. It's solder in like the UK. I don't know about Europe, but UK, I believe they say solder. And then we say solder. I don't know why I like SODDER, solder and solder. Mike says, yep. Oh, on the acoustic? Interesting. Sam Packin says, I'll be in touch with Mike. Wanting a template for Rick 325. Yes. Work with Rick. Highly work with Mike. Rick. See what I did there? Yes, definitely. I would work with nobody else if I needed custom templates. Harry Dude says, I plan on purging stuff before I move, both selling and throwing. Less to move will make me happier. Yeah. Yeah. See, I want to do the same thing. I really want to get to the point where I can do that here. Whether it's move shop, change shops, redo shops, something. So we got to do something. I don't know what. I'm at that antsy step. Paul says, I use Mike's templates as masters to make mine from. I use Corian to make my templates that I work with. Yeah, I don't work off of the original. I always make a duplicate. It's too dangerous. Robert says, I tried building a guitar pedal and everything was going great. Got down to the last couple of components, soldered one in the wrong spot, tried removing it, messed up the board. Oh no. Darn it. Yeah, I mean, things can go wrong. That's where this, a free soldering workshop, I think it's an awesome idea. Like I said, if there was a free something and I had the opportunity to go to it, I would totally go. Mike says, I have a couple of acoustic sets. He says, but I'm an electric guy, so I need to learn, lean on some of my acoustic luthier friends to help. Gotcha. I've got a few resources, Mike, if you need for some acoustic stuff. If you need any of that information, let me know. Tanmay says, have you ever worked on any projects with a Raspberry Pi? I have not. I bought one time. Was it a Raspberry Pi? No, I think that was an Arduino. I bought one at one time for a project I wanted to try to do, and I didn't end up doing it. And I think I sold the Arduino like on eBay or something. I have not. Paul says, UK also mispronounces aluminum. They say aluminium. Yes, aluminium and aluminum in solder and solder. It's funny. Tanmay says, thank you for the great stream. Hope you have an amazing week. See ya. Tanmay, right on. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you have a great week too. Go take that soldering workshop. Even if you don't see yourself using it, it's a good, just something. It's another tool to put in your toolbox, let's just say. Harry Dude says, aluminium. Yes, it's aluminium in Australia, right? Mike says to Paul, yes, it's a little known secret. that your local kitchen counter shop will let you dumpster dive for Korean scraps. Dumpster dive. I had to dumpster dive here. We have a dumpster here. I had to dumpster dive yesterday because I was cleaning some stuff out. Some scraps and stuff from this neck that I'm working on. Offcuts and whatnot. And I just heaved a bunch of stuff in there. And then I walked back over and I started setting up the laser to test this stuff. And I'm like, crap, I just threw away my scraps of maple. Actually, this is the one I had to go dig back out of the dumpster so I could get some maple offcuts to test. It's fine. Robert says, I've never had much luck trying to solder until I was doing that pedal, and it was working fantastic until I messed it up. Darn it. I wonder if there's a way you couldn't salvage that. I mean, I don't know the particular issue or whatever, but if the board is messed up, could you maybe just use wires to connect whatever components need to be connected instead of using the board? Maybe like bypass. I don't know. Just an idea. Maybe dig those projects back out. Which actually, you know what? That brings me to an idea. I know we're well past the hour mark, but that's fine. I'm having fun. That brings me to an idea. That gives me an idea. How many of you have a project that maybe you started a year ago, 2 years ago, 5 years, 10 years ago, and you never finished it for one reason or another? Maybe you lost interest. Maybe you got stuck. Maybe you ran into a problem. I know I do. Although I've been trying to work through some of those, I keep thinking about that, and I want to challenge everyone. And this is not the official challenge necessarily, but it's something I've been thinking about. I think we should put together some sort of old project completion challenge and maybe challenge each other to dig out a project that was started and maybe never finished. As I look around to find that project, I'm not sure what that would be at the moment, but I know I've got stuff. I think that'd be fun. What do you guys think? And we could do like a video or something challenging everyone to dig out the old projects. I just think it'd be cool. Paul says, I have a friend that does countertops. I buy my Corian from her, get some great stuff. In this, I just pushed a button. In the size I want for not bad prices, sturdier templates than MDF or plywood. It says, unless you drop it. Don't ask me how I know. Can you put a threaded insert into Corian? I'm gonna say no, but I don't know that for a fact. That's a legitimate question for you, Paul. Because that might be kind of cool. That would almost be kind of neat for like a CNC wasteboard. I don't know. I can imagine it would look kind of cool rather than MDF. Heritage says, I've salvaged boards with uninsulated wire to recreate the tracks on the board. Oh. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of, right? You're just using, uninsulated wire. I got you. I see. It took me a second. Yeah, I think there'd probably be workarounds. Robert says, probably could have, but I think I already threw it away. Well, darn. That's all right. There's a pedal project that I would like to try. I just haven't figured out a good way to turn that into a video. I want to try building one of those clone kits that the popular U.S. guitar tool supplier people sell. See what I did there? I really want to try it. Just for fun. To have kind of a cool clone pedal, but also really just I've never built a pedal kit. And it's like I was talking about earlier, I want to try everything. But I'm not sure how I would turn that into a video other than just working through the process. I guarantee you that I would not want to say, okay, we're soldering this resistor to the thing, and this is the clipping diode, whatever. I can't explain all that stuff in a manner. I wonder if it would just be, here's my process of doing it. I don't know. That's really been the biggest thing and the big reason that I haven't done it yet, because I don't know how to turn that into a video that would be interesting for you. Paul says, I have one of those long-term unfinished projects, 15 years in the making, and hopefully many more left, called marriage. See what you did there, Paul. Yeah. Robert says, for me, I need to make a knife sheath. Nice. Yeah, do it, Robert. Paul says, yes, heat it up as you go and take it slow. It's like plastic. Really? So you can. Oh, that's awesome. Mike says, got to run back to the shop, Jeff. Good talking to you. Mike, right on. I'm glad you stopped by. So have an awesome week, Mike. Yeah, let me know if you need any resources on the acoustic stuff. Let me know for sure. Yeah, good chatting with you. That's awesome. Have a great day. And Donna's here. Donna says, having a good weekend? Or have a good weekend. Yes, Donna, you too. Harry Dude says, project car, bought it in 97, started multiple times, but stopped due to finances, storage issues, health issues, pandemic, panel beater friends going out of business. See, Harry Dude, there you go. You got a project. Yeah, I was just thinking, I need to do a little bit more thinking on that, but I just thought it'd be cool if we all kind of dig into whatever our unfinished projects are and try to get a couple of those done. And speaking of project cars, I don't have one yet, but Harry Dude, you brought this back to front of mind. There's too many things that I want to do. It's getting difficult because I don't have space. But anyway, project car. I want a project car. I mentioned it in a couple of videos ago when I was talking about some of the things I wanted to do for the year. I think it would be super cool to do some sort of a car project. Maybe it's not a complete restoration type of project, but buy a car, need some work, and I want to find something. I just think it would be an awesome project. So if anybody's got anything that you think might be cool, shoot me a message. It doesn't have to be right here, but if it's in, if it's 1,200 miles away, I probably can't feasibly come pick it up right now. But let me know. You just never know. It's just something I keep thinking about. And if the right thing were to come along, we might be able to do something. I don't know. Robert says to Paul, hopefully many more years. Yeah. Time surfing. Gotta run, fellas and lady. See y'all next week. Right on, time surfing. Have a great week. Donna says half. I know what you meant, Donna. It's all good. Robert says, also have an Alaskan ulu knife made of Damascus steel. I need to drill some holes and attach the scales on the handle. See, there you go, Robert. You got some projects. I'd have to do a little bit of searching to find a couple of those projects, but I know I have some around here somewhere. I know I do. I just think it'd be fun. Fun little old project challenge. But yeah, the ulu, that'd be cool. I saw recently, I think that Woodcraft is expanding some of their offerings quite a lot. Because I got a flyer from them last week, I think, and it was 2 or 3 times thicker than their normal flyers. Normally it's 2, 3, 4 pages, maybe 4 to 6 pages. This thing was 8 or 10 pages. It was thick comparatively. And they had some new stuff in there that I have not seen before. Some of those knife kits. They have one that's like a steak knife kit. And I am seriously considering going and getting those because, let me grab this. I just think that would be cool. Buy the knife kits. I've got a bunch of rosewood offcuts, small pieces that I think would make awesome knife handles. And to have like a cool little steak knife kit with rosewood handles, I think that'd be pretty cool. I've got some other stuff too you could use, but that's what makes me think about it, is using these offcuts from fretboards. This one right here. I just think it'd be a cool project. Let's see. Paul says, I have a 1985 Yugo GV you could put together for Haley. It's as reliable as a Yugo can be. Dad got it when he bought a Chevy. Threw in the Yugo for free for him buying the Chevy. You know, see, that's sort of what I'm thinking, right? Something like that would be kind of cool. Just to find something, you know, I can work on it with the kiddo, and you know, it could be her first car of some sort. I don't know. Harry Dude says, I have multiple guitars of my own that I need to finish. I think there's 5 or 6 sitting here unfinished. Wow, Harry Dude, are those all ones you've built like from scratch kind of things, or what? Yeah, that would be cool. Sent back in, Rick says, I have to run, Jeff. Might have something to do downstairs in the shop. You might have something? I think you do. Take care, everyone, he says. Rick, thanks a lot. Have an awesome week, Rick. Get some of that shop set up so you can work down there again. Donna says 80s Monte Carlo or Regal. Donna, you are reading my mind. Ideally, that would be my ideal project. I have multiple searches set up on my phone for exactly that. My very first car, I've talked about this before, but my very first car was a 1980 Monte Carlo. It was awesome. Of course, it came with a 6-cylinder, and that was the first thing I did, was yank the 6-cylinder out, put in a V8, of course, and proceeded to cause a lot of trouble. After that, I got an 87 Monte Carlo Super Sport. That was my second car. That car was wicked fun. It was not stock when I bought it. I bought it from a guy who raced dirt track or circle track. I don't know if it was dirt track, but he had put one of his race car motors in it. It was a 30 over 350 small block right out of the race car. I mean, it sounded like a stock car with, yeah, it was fun. Anyway, those are the 2 cars that I would love to find, but I'm not stuck on just those. I would like to find another one of them. The problem is the prices on those things are getting way out of control, at least in my area. It's rare to find. I did find a Super Sport for a reasonable price, but it was pretty rough. So I don't know. But yeah, those would be my ideal projects. Robert says those rosewood scraps would make nice knife scales. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Edgelight says, oh wow, caught the stream live. Well, welcome. That's because we're running over. We're almost an hour and a half in, which is fine. But when the conversation is going good, I'm okay with it. It's fine. Donna says, I had an 82 olive green. You run an 82? Nice. That was the second year of that body style. Harry Dude says, all guitars that I have bought or been given and are in the process of getting done. Refrets, rewiring, refinishing, new bridge for an acoustic. Nice. That's kind of like this bass. You know, just bought it as a project, making an entirely new neck. It's going to completely change the look because, well, it's not going to say Epiphone anymore, so I'm not quite sure how that's going to work out, but whatever. Yeah, that's cool. Donna says, I agree on price and definitely have to have some good floors. Yeah. You know, that's the nice thing about where I live here. Those cars, they don't rot out because they don't use road salt. It's not a humid environment. So, you know, when things do get wet, they're not sitting in the humidity. You know, it doesn't take forever for things to dry, so they don't rot out. So when you do find something, it's not all rotted to pieces, which is a huge bonus. But they're expensive. So anyway, yeah, I don't know. I would love to do some sort of car project. I think that would be awesome. Something that, we could do over time, maybe over I don't know, summer, over a winter, over a year or two would be even cool. A little bit here, a little bit there. I just got to find the right vehicle. Paul says, I'm working on a mandolin for a customer. Haven't built one in about 8 years, but still have all the molds. Wow, that's cool, Paul. Yeah, nice. Nice. Cool. Anyway, you guys got any last minute questions, comments, or suggestions? I probably should probably should get to work. I gotta get to sanding. On this neck. And also doing some more troubleshooting for my live stream, because next week, hopefully next week, we'll have this set up correctly and things working properly. That's my goal anyway. I got to get rid of this reversed stuff just so you guys don't have to be, so you don't have to deal with it. Yeah, I think a mandolin, Paul, going back to your comment, would be pretty cool. Not something I've never played a mandolin. I don't even know why I would build one, but again, I've never done it. So there's something that intrigues me about doing it. That's just how I am. I've never done this particular process or whatever. I've never built this certain thing. That makes me want to do it. Robert says, all vehicles are way too expensive. Was looking this morning online for a new Dodge Ram pickup, bone stock, no extras, and prices over $40,000. Wow, Robert, I'm surprised you found one that cheap, to be completely honest, for plain stock. Yeah, the prices for these things are absolutely ridiculous. There's zero chance I would ever buy a new vehicle, at least, not anytime in the near future. There's just zero reason for it. $40,000 for plain truck. Yeah, I'm surprised it wasn't 60 though. Yeah, it's insane. I've got my eye out too, for one, when my vehicle, which is getting up there on mileage, when it decides to give up the ghost, I want to have an idea of what I'm looking for to replace it. And I want it to be a pickup, but it is not going to be a new pickup. Even the used ones are astronomical. Paul says, have a great day. We'll see you backwards next week. I hope not, Paul. I've been dealing with issues trying to get everything set up. Well, fingers crossed. Hopefully we'll get this thing working. Harry Dude says, got to learn how to make necks. I have a Jackson body here that needs one. Might be a good excuse to learn. Harry Dude, I guarantee you could build a neck. What kind of neck pocket does that have? Is it like a Jackson only pocket, or is it like a strap, fender pocket, something like that? Paul says, I'll try to post on Instagram, Facebook while I'm making it. Yeah, I want to follow along. Donna, yes. Robert says it was the base model. Yeah. Oh, to the mandolin. Gotcha, Donna. Yeah, Harry Dude, you could make yourself a neck. And we could figure that out. Like if you needed templates, well, Mike was on here. Mike is the guy. Mike's the guy you would need, I'm thinking. If you need a template. Get the template from Mike, and yeah, you could do it. Anyway, alrighty. I gotta wrap this up. I think I'm gonna do one more quick test on the live stream for next week, and then I gotta get to work on this base neck. Heritage says 24 fret Jackson. I think they have their own dimensions going on. Might copy my other Jackson that I have here. Yeah, you could do that too. I have done that before. I copied a base. So a friend of mine had a base. It was a little tricky because I actually used the original neck as a template, right? So ideal world, this is a flat plane. This is a flat plane. They are in line. You could stick a piece of MDF to that and use this right here with a flush trim router bit. It's a little scary, kind of, but it works. And that's what I did to make a duplicate of a base neck for a buddy of mine. It's not perfect, not ideal. You're better if you put a little piece of tape on the router to make it just a little oversized. Then you got some room for sanding. But that's one way I did it. And it worked. It worked. But anyway, Edgelight says, thanks. Robert says, everyone stay safe and healthy. Right on, guys. And Harry Dude, if you need help tracking something down for that template or something like that, shoot me a message. It's fine. It's all good. We can get you figured out as best we can. Anyway, you guys have an awesome rest of your week. Hope you get some time. Hope your weather is nice. Hope you can get outside, spend some time outdoors, maybe in your shops, whatever it is you're enjoying. Hope you get time to do that. And stay tuned this week. I've got the video edited for part 1 of this. I was hoping to get it done last week, but last weekend was super busy. It was the kiddo's birthday and some other things were going on, so I just didn't get it up in time. I got that video ready to go, part 1, and I'm working on part 2 right now, so stay tuned. Thank you. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. I appreciate you. Harry Dude says, cheers, dude. See you all next week. Right on. You guys, stay safe, stay well, get on your shops, build some cool stuff, have some fun, and thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Take care, everybody. I appreciate you.